Okay, I think we're okay to go. It seems like a good number of people have joined. So, welcome to the last episode in our first part of our summer webinar series. So today is going to be a student panel of some of our student ambassadors who are going to get to give you guys their perspective on the student life and student experience at DCU in the time that they've been here. And hopefully you'll get some insights that are different to the insights that we've given in our previous webinars and more about that student perspective. So just before we start, just a couple of housekeeping bits. So if everyone could please keep their microphone muted for the presentation, that would be great. Just to stop any background noise or any distractions. If you have any questions, so we will open the Q&A to you guys at the end. So if you have any questions, just wait until the end, stick them into the chat box, and we'll get to as many as we can. If you can keep your questions as general as possible, that'd be great. And if you can also keep them just relative to the student experience and student life side. If you have any questions about fees or about accommodation or anything that we've covered in some of our previous webinars, please just submit them to the webinar, to the email that's on the screen. I can stick that email in the chat at the end as well. So just keep your questions as general as possible and as related to the student life and experience part as possible too. So on the call today, you have myself, Frank, who's the marketing officer for DCU Global. We also have Shishta, who's one of our regional advisors for India. And then we also have a new member of staff, Abby, who's our recruitment officer for Brazil and Southeast Asia. He's just started, so I don't just have him on the slide. So then our student panelist is Atarv, who's from India, and he's studying a postgrad in astrophysics and relativity. We also have Brianna Tish from Canada, who's doing an MSc in human resource management. And then we also have Neha Gupta, who is also from India and is doing her postgraduate in artificial intelligence, focus on natural language processing. So we'll start by just going through some pre-written questions that we think have covered most areas to do with the student life and student perspective, which will hopefully give you a well-rounded sort of insight into the student life at DCU. So the first question is for Neha, and it's just about, do you have any experience and tips for adjusting to life in Dublin, especially in terms of like cultural differences and kind of everyday living?
Yep. So thanks, Frank, and welcome everyone, those who are there on the call. So yes, like coming from India and adjusting to the life here in Dublin can have you can have a very delightful experience, yet at the same time it comes with its own challenges. So the first thing, which was a major like a cultural differences, I would say, is mostly in terms of weather. So the weather is very different here in terms of what we have in India. It is more often cooler, and it is with very frequent rains as well. So I would suggest everyone who is coming here to Dublin, they should invest in a good waterproof jacket and winter clothes whenever they are coming here, and they should also layer themselves very well to enjoy the outdoor weathers. Otherwise, you'll be stuck inside because it rains very frequently. Even in summers, it is raining at times. So that was one thing for me. Second thing was especially with respect to the public transport here. So which is very well connected. Like unlike a few cities in India, that public transport is really good if you want to enjoy going the outskirts or the countryside. So buses, trams, trains, all are very good. Enjoy that. You'll enjoy the weather. You'll enjoy the countryside and restaurants. And mostly people who are coming from India, and especially if they're vegetarians, they feel like that there are not many options. But if we explore around, there are good vegetarian options as well, just like me. So I'm a vegetarian, but for non-vegetarians, like it's a huge buffet out there. So you can enjoy everything and anything like that. So that was another thing. Then in terms of socializing and connecting, this is something which very which is excited me a lot. Reason being because back in India we used to have these cultural groups, or maybe small meetup groups used to happen often, but not that often, just like we have in Dublin. So apart from whatever I've been studying, which is natural language processing, I've seen so many events and meetup groups which are out there in Dublin. If you go there, you learn so much. So this is something very important for me when I landed here, and it was again like sort of a like cultural come together. So different people from different backgrounds, they come together and then they meet on these in these social groups, not just academically, but they also connect well with respect to what cultures they bring into the table. So these are the four things which I would say is very like in terms of cultural differences, as well as it can bring you all together. So these are the four important things if you're coming here to Ireland.
Yeah, thanks so much, Neha. I think the weather one is one that comes up a lot with our international students.
Yeah.
It's pretty unpredictable. It can be all
Yes.
4 seasons in one day sometimes. But
Correct.
I think the vegetarian thing is also important. I think vegetarian options in Dublin and Ireland are getting much better, and
Yes.
there's lots
Now
more
they're
options than there used to be. So it's good for
correct.
people that
Yes.
are
Yes.
coming that are vegetarian that they do have options to eat as well. Especially there is
Correct.
options on campus too, which is great.
Yes.
So we'll just move on then to the second question, which is just for Atarv and about what advice you would give to international students coming to DCU or Dublin.
Thanks, Frank, and welcome to everyone to DCU. Welcome to all the students who have got this offer letter for DCU. So, what advice would I give to new international students? So, coming from India, one of the first things that I noticed over here was the price disparity due to the euro strength. So, that I will advise you all to remove from your head. Like, it's not just from India. If you come from any other place, probably euro will be stronger. So don't try to like convert every rate in your mind while purchasing different things, because that will make you haywire and it will not let you shop accordingly. Okay, so when you're in Europe, follow the euro. Okay, don't try to convert everything back to your currency and see the expenses. That was the main thing which I did, so I thought I'll tell you guys. I think many people do that. Also, studying abroad in Dublin offers a unique opportunity for rich cultural experiences, because very Dublin is the capital of Ireland. It's a very busy place. Like people from many various diverse background all over from Europe and Asia, Africa, all places, even Latin America come over here. So you can meet like people from many different places who have many different worldviews. So try to embrace these interactions. They are invaluable for personal growth. Also, it is important to bring items from home that comfort you. Okay, like favorite snacks, photographs, cherished books, or anything which can help you to overcome this homesickness. Okay, because many of the Indian things not just Indian thing, many of the things that you find in your home country, you will not be able to find over here. So try to bring the things that you comfort you. Try to bring them along with you. And finally, be open to new experiences, and be ready to step out of your comfort zone, because you're coming outside. Everything's not gonna be merry. It's not always be Merry Christmas for you. Okay, things will go. You will have to maybe struggle a bit. You will have things can get a bit tighter. So be ready for everything. Be ready for all the challenges that will come to you, because this is a new country for you. So just be ready for that. And this journey is about learning and growing, and not just academically, but personally also. Take this as this. And DCU has a supportive international office and various student societies that can also help you settle in. So get involved and make the most of your time here in Dublin. Thanks.
Yeah, I think they're really important points to have, especially about embracing the different cultures and stuff, because as Dublin is such a melting pot now, you get people from all corners of the world. So there's great opportunities obviously to meet Irish people, but also people from so many different backgrounds and cultures. And then as well what you're saying about getting involved and getting out of your comfort zone, like that's such an important thing, because you'll get out what you put into stuff like this. And if you come and you embrace the discomfort and you're happy to get out of your comfort zone, then you'll get much more out of it. But yeah, we'll move on then to the third question for Brianna. So what do you enjoy most about campus life at DCU? And then is there any specific clubs or activities that you would recommend from your experience?
Yeah, so hi everyone. Thanks, Frank. Welcome and congrats on your offer. It's very exciting. So what I love most about DCU is that right from the get-go, like from the first day I got here, it's a very involved campus and like very, very student friendly, especially comparing to my past universities. So that's kind of the first thing that I loved about DCU, is that it's so student engaging. The student union is really involved with the students, so that's also a big bonus. They're always hosting, like, there's live music in the student building, free lunches. They're planning activities in the evening. They've got bingo going on in the evening. They set up galas and everything. So if you're following like the DCU Student Life, DCU Student Union on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or anything, they're always posting what's going on. So throughout semester on my lunch break, it would be like, oh, DCU student is giving up free lunch. Let's go over to the student union. So it's really engaging on campus. So that's one of my favorite things. And then as for the clubs and societies, I had never really done that in my past universities. So at DCU, I definitely took an interest to it, especially because I was an international student and didn't know anyone and went from a new place. So I really wanted to branch out and meet as many people as I could. So that's a really great way to meet a bunch of people. And the DCU clubs and socias range from, you've got so many different types of sports to just so many different fun activities you might do. So there's a rock climbing club, there's a go-karting club, you've got your typical sports. A friend of mine in my class was big into badminton. He traveled to Galway, went to all these places for tournaments. Another one in my class did the rock climbing, which was really great. So I would definitely say you've got sports. So if you're big into sports back home, it's a good way to meet people, but then also just it's an easy and a very, very cost efficient, like it's only €4 to join the clubs and socias. So if you like rock climbing, it's a great way to join and then rock climb every week. So it's also a great way to meet a lot of the other students. But yeah, definitely my biggest takeaway with DCU has been just how involved it has been with students, and it's made for a very welcoming experience. And even though DCU has grown a lot in size and it is a big university, I would not say I feel like I'm in a big university. It does not feel the same as comparing it to Trinity, where you have huge spaces and everything. And even though our campuses, we've got the 3 different campuses, it's very easy to commute to each campus and you don't feel far away. And again, it's just a very big community feel with DCU compared to, I would say, the other universities in Dublin.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing about DCU, is that kind of close-knit kind of community in the university and everyone feeling really involved. And as you were saying, like the clubs and socks are such a good way to try new things and then also improve things that you're already interested in. So don't feel that like you have to join ones that you already do or you're already skillful at. Like, don't be afraid to join new ones, because it's a great way to just socialize and make friends and meet like-minded people, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks so much. I think that's a great insight into kind of some of the extra stuff that goes on at DCU. And as Brianna was saying, it's important to follow the various different social media accounts for the Students' Union and Student Life, which always give like kind of real-time updates on stuff that's going on. So you might just see something randomly that's happening and you're on campus, and you might be able to meet people or get free food or try something new, that sort of thing. So yeah, we'll move on to the next question then, which is back to Niha. So can you share any tips and resources that helped you succeed academically? So we've looked kind of then at the student life part. So is there anything kind of that helps you academically at DCU?
Yeah, definitely, Frank. Yeah. Again, I mean, this is something which I would really appreciate about DCU. There are so many good resources out there in DCU which will help you excel academically. So I'll start with the first one, which is our library, which is O'Reilly Library. Oh my God, it's amazing. So it's like, it's not just a hub of books. It has so many good papers, journals, online databases, and accesses to those books which comes with a very hefty price online if you buy them. But if you, with your email, like DCU email ID, you have the access to those books which are really, really amazing out there. Do definitely leverage them in your study groups or in your daily study as well. So it's not just about those books which you are going to just use academically, but even if you're passionate about something and you figure out that that book is out there, do search there in the O'Reilly library and definitely give it a go. And Of course, the library is literally quaint. I would say it has 3 floors, and all of them like it's a side. You have the silent rooms. You can just study individual, or you can just spend your time out there with yourself, with the immersing yourself in the books, immersing yourselves in the books. So, very great resource out there. Then with respect to what do you say, writings. So academically, like when I get here in the course, we were supposed to write so many like white papers or like so sort of a thesis things every semester, or rather every subject. So at times it becomes really challenging. So then in DCU, you have these groups which helps you to write or to improve your writing. So again, definitely use them out for improving your writing, to get your articles or to get your white papers being checked, and follow the like hierarchy or the structure what is required to attain good marks. So definitely it's a like go for me. Like I used to use it every time whenever I find it difficult to write anything academically. Then the third thing is these support services with respect to your these resumes. So whenever like every time I've seen so many people, they are like struggling initially that how should our resume look like, and how should we get through in the Irish job market. So you have this support center in DCU, wherein you can always like send an email to Sandra and to other people as well, get your resume check, get the tips out there that how you should improve your LinkedIn profile, how should you reach the Irish market and Irish research, these recruiters out there. Definitely try that out. It will help you not just like, and do not wait till the end. I would say always be there. Like as soon as you come here, you start to understand the culture, you start to understand the people here, start working upon those areas. This will again help you a lot academically. uh, Next thing which I really find fascinating, and which I also used very frequently, is studying in groups, because the course which I enrolled myself into was very new, and it was like it was happening for the first time. So we as a class group, we all collaborated together, and we used to study in like groups every time. Whenever we find any difficulty in the lectures or something like that, we just collaborated so as to ensure that whatever we are learning, we all are having the same amount of knowledge. It's not about a race. Do not come here and think that you have to excel with respect to anyone. Just try to learn and improve yourself, become your best version, I would say. And this is a time when you are going to invest in yourself. So just improve on yourself, and not just go out on a race every time. Just don't come here with that like mindset. Improve yourself, I would say. So
Yeah.
these are few things. And the last one is, again, I can't emphasize enough, but go out there. There are so many events and have groups which are out there apart from DCU, these stocks, right? So go out there as well, meet so many good people, and there will be a point in time like when you will be going out and you will know people by their names. So it's a very important thing. You meet so many people, you try to collaborate with them. It's really good with your for your social culture, as well as like to give you a space from your academic writings and your curriculum, because it at times it becomes really like hectic for you. The entire day would be very hectic. So give yourself time, and then go out there, meet new people. It's going to be very exciting and very relieving. So
Yeah.
these are my these are my takeaways which I have utilized during my entire academic season here. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
pretty much.
I think you've covered so many great resources there, Neha. Especially like the writing center is great. Like if you struggle
Yes.
with academic writing, like don't be afraid when you come to join the writing center and go, and they do sessions on how to improve your academic writing, on how to reference properly. If you struggle with maths, there's a maths center where you can get similar stuff. The career service that he had touched on is great in terms of getting you introduced to the Irish job market. I think kind of something that he had touched on in all our points is just the power of building a network and meeting different people and getting to know people in your class, getting to know people in the writing center, getting to know people from careers. All these people are going to support you and help you through your academic journey. So the more of these people that you go and get involved with and get to meet the earlier on, the easier it'll be throughout your time here, and the easier it'll make your experience at DCU. So that is such an important thing, is kind of building that network and using all these different resources that are available to you, and also not waiting till, as Nia said, till too late. Like do it from the off. If you know it might be an issue, just go and chat to somebody, and they're always there to help. So don't be afraid to use them. So let's move on to the next question, which is back to Tarv. So I think this is something that's important for all international students, and I think everyone knows that there's a rising cost of living everywhere, not just in Dublin. So do you have any practical tips, Tarv, for kind of managing finances or budgeting as an international student in Dublin? Anything that's helped you over the last while?
Yeah, thanks, Frank. So yeah, this is a very important question for international students, and this was one of the main questions that was lingering in my mind when I first came over here. So navigating finances can be a really challenging thing for an international student over here. So some of the practical tips is like, first of all, the major expenditure of your month will go into your accommodation. So I would highly recommend you guys to start looking for accommodation, like even before, like if you are here for September intake, start looking for it. Like try to find the university dorms, like because accommodation is, as you know, living cost is going up, and accommodation, like it is easy to find job in Dublin in compared to finding place. Like this is a saying in Dublin. So try to find a good place to stay over here in Dublin. University dorms are a very good option because they are just located in the university itself, and they are a bit cheaper as compared to the market rates, and they offer you a single room and good facilities. So if you are able to find yourself university dorm, that's very great. But there are also student accommodations out there, and then there are also shared apartments option. Try to look for the websites and all to find the proper accommodation. Then the second expenditure that will mainly you will get is regarding transportation, but transportation cost will not be that much, because if you invest some money in leap card, like get your leap card from DCO, okay, try to get a student leap card. If you get a student leap card, you will be just charged €1 for your travels, and it will be valid for 90 minutes. It's very useful. Leap cards are very useful, and wherever you go, you'll find it very useful. So try to invest some money in the leap card and get yourself that, and be prepared to walk. Be prepared to walk. Okay. Whatever you used to do back in your country, be prepared to walk when you come over. And be prepared to walk in the wet season, because it's gonna be wet. And also, yeah,
No, go ahead, Tarv.
yeah, and also regarding the foods and grocery, so shop at the budget-friendly big stores like LD, Lidl, and Tesco. These are the big stores where you can find some like cheap grocery stuff. So they are budget friendly stores. So try to shop from there. And also DCU helps students very much in this regard. Like I think like from the last semester or so, DCU started this program where it started giving uh, per week, every week student can go to DCU, like the student office in the student union building. There was an office. You can go over there, and in just €1 you can find yourself essential supplies for the week. And after some time it even got free. So in free you will just go and get yourself some essential supplies. So that was really good thing done by DCU for the students. And I think maybe it I think it might be continuing till the next in the next semester also. So hopes
Yeah.
I for that. And then the thing is books and supplies. Maybe like if you are needing some books, you might think that you'll need to buy new books. So I will recommend you to just follow what Neha said and go to the library. Okay, library of DCU is very good. You can find most of the books. If not physical books, you can find ebooks over there. So that can be very helpful. So just don't run away to buy new books. Go to the library. And then entertainment and socializing. So look for free and discounted events around the city. There are many free and discounted events around the city, and many museum and galleries also offer free entry on certain days. And the student ID is very helpful in these things, because student ID offers you discounts in movies, in some, even in some restaurants. So many places your student ID will offer you discount. So keep be aware of that. Okay, so be aware of getting a student discount. Like if you go to a new place, just ask. It's polite to ask. Just ask that, do you offer a student discount? If yes, then it's good for you. There's an app known as Ticketmaster. Like people use that app a lot to find new events and going around the city and all. So anyway, you'll get to know about it when you come over here. But yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think
remember,
they're.
yeah,
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead,
yeah.
Dev.
Remember that tracking your budget is critical. Like, do this tracking of every month of your expenses, whatever you're getting, and you can find jobs in college also. Okay, if you're looking for jobs, you can find jobs in college also. Like I got myself this postgraduate ambassador. There are other jobs in DCU as well, like the Math Learning Center, which was mentioned by Neha and Frank also. So in Math Learning Center also you can find yourself. So there are many jobs in DCU. Be attentive for that, and then you can also apply for part-time jobs all around the city also. So be attentive of that.
Yeah, I think you touched on some really great points there, Tarv. Like the student leap card is almost essential in my opinion, like in terms of getting discounted travel on public transport. It makes it at least, I think, more than half price when you have the student leap card. So that should be one of the first things you do when you arrive, is try to get a student leap card. As well as you were saying, lots of places in Dublin offer student discounts. So when you go to restaurants, shops, that sort of thing, make sure to ask or look out to see if they have student discounts, because it can give you 10, 20% off the price. And then I think another really important thing you were saying is about using the kind of big budget friendly supermarkets like Lidl and Aldi. The prices there are much cheaper compared to every other supermarket. I think some other countries might have them, so you might know them from your own country, but you might not. But they're very widely available. Nearly every area will have one within walking distance. So make sure to keep a lookout for them and avoid kind of going to smaller, kind of more expensive shops. But yeah, no, I think there were some really good tips or managing finances, and I think that'd be really useful. So let's move on to the last pre-written question before we kind of open up the question to you guys. But Brianna, if you could just give one piece of advice to your past self when you were kind of starting at DCU, what would it be? Kind of looking back to when you were first coming here, so probably about this time last year.
Yeah, so Neha kind of touched on this about like your experiences and everything. And this sounds I'm pro school, like focus on school, but I would say like don't take school so seriously. Like if you're only here for a year, if you're only coming for the 1 year, or you're only here for an undergrad 3-4 years, you're here for such a short time. And so I would say like I came here with the mindset of like, okay, I'm here for an academic purpose. That will be the majority of like the reason I'm here, my focus, everything. And so it's not that I missed out on a lot of experiences, but I would say I kind of that was my focus. So I would say I didn't get to experience as much as I probably would have liked to. So I would say while school is your priority and like do well, but definitely focus on like the friendships you're building and the experiences you're having, because it's such a short time that you're here. And these friendships that I've made are now going to last me a lifetime, whereas school will just be the year, the one, especially if you're doing a postgrad, it's 1 year and time goes by so fast. It's hard to believe I'm already submitting my thesis. So I would say focus on, yeah, like building the relationships. And then one advice that I kind of stuck to, and Frank did kind of mention this, that you get out what you put in. And that was kind of my motto from the beginning, was kind of just saying yes to everything and experiencing new things. And again, I'm only going to get out what I put into this. And so I did try my best to meet a lot of new people and try to experience and really acclimate to the culture here. And so trying to decide what my next steps are has been a very tough choice, because I feel so embedded in the Irish culture now, but also still my Canadian culture. So it's a very interesting split. But I would definitely say like my biggest pieces of advice is, while yes, you're here for school, enjoy the time that you have here, because Dublin is such a busy, buzzing city, and there's so many things to do between art and museum and music and I mean just the Irish culture, and you can go travel in all the cities. So take advantage of being here and yeah, focus on school. I'm saying that, but also just like really try to enjoy life in Dublin while you're here, because it's gonna go by in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing. Like, while the academia is obviously important, but there's also so much more to kind of your international student experience in Dublin. Like, there's so much more outside of academia. So don't get too focused on just your academic side. Make sure to make the most of all the opportunities that are available to you. And I think what Brianna said is just say yes to as many things as possible, and you never know kind of what opportunities might arise for you. Okay, so before we go on to your guys' questions, we'll just run through a couple of small things. So we have a few more webinars coming up. So this is the end of part 1 of our summer webinar series, but we will start up again on the 3rd of July. So we'll have a student support services webinar. Then we'll have on July 10th, employment as an international student. And then on August 14th, we'll have registration, frequently asked questions, and then we'll have one more after that. So registration details for them 3 webinars will become available soon. So just keep an eye on your emails. You should get an email with an invitation. And then recordings of this webinar and all our previous webinars will be on the link that's below, but that'll be sent out in the thank you email from this webinar. So you'll be able to access that there. So as well, if you haven't already, we have the Going app for offer holders, which allows you to kind of meet other offer holders, meet some student ambassadors, and kind of ask questions about DCU. So that you should have got an email invitation to that as well. There will be a link included in the invitation for the next set of webinars. So make sure to register and get on there and kind of engage with your peers. I think something I was mentioned earlier on about following the different social medias. So we do have social medias just for the international side of university, which will give information about events, information about different things that are going on DCU. So make sure to follow them to kind of keep up with date with what's going on, so you can see them there on screen. So we'll move on then to some of your guys' questions. As I said at the start, we'll try to cover as many, or just before we go on to these, Shishta might just mention something quickly just about the Indian pre-departure sessions. If you want to come in quickly, Shishta, before you move on to the audience's questions.
Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning. So myself, Sashta, I am based out of India and I look for Indian recruitment activity for Dublin City University. I can see a lot of familiar names in the list. So yeah, guys, we make it till here. So I would, before we go on to any further, just a simple piece, piece of my advice is that you are coming to DCU. Of course, getting a degree is a major part, but you're coming for a global exposure. It's once in a lifetime opportunity that you all are coming from, and Dublin is amazing for it, right? I was in the campus very recently, so of course there's DCU. It's a huge, huge campus, right? And I always say this that we all have grown, seeing movies where we see that campus life to ourselves. DCU is something that it will offer you that alongside with your amazing degrees, right? And regarding regarding the city is safe. Safe is a point that I would like to especially emphasize on it. The city is campus is much safer, right? You can roam around the campus. There are clubs in society, student union, accommodations are within the campus itself. However, they are on lottery basis, so I would not like to put all of my baskets, all of my eggs in the campus accommodation basket. However, there are options available, as Neha, Brianna, and Athav already mentioned and covered the part that accommodations are available there. The Dublin as a city is very accessible by public transport, so this is this is commendable. And one thing I would like to say, as Frank mentioned, that for all my Indian students, this is specifically that we are like DCU is organizing pre-departures. So it will be in major 5 cities, which is Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, and Delhi. It will start from the last week of this month. I will send out invites to all the students on their email. So please keep an eye on your email boxes. Wherever city you can come among those 5 cities, please come. We'll talk about the campus. We'll talk about what to expect once you land at the university. We'll talk about your future life, your visas, what to pack, what to avoid, what to expect. And it will be great for everybody of you to meet your future classmates, in person, so that you also have an idea. I remember Neha attended our Pune pre-departure session, right? So this is something that will of course help you, and it will of course help you to set your expectations right. So that is it from my side, guys. And for any other purposes, I will strongly recommend you all to please keep an eye on your email box, because every communication will come from your, will come through emails. Like, unfortunately, we do not have any WhatsApp groups. So this is something that please, please be mindful that if there is any DCU group that you come across, like WhatsApp or Facebook, that is not DCU operated, we do not have any DCU groups. Your students are more than welcome to, or your agencies are more than welcome to create their own. But we don't do any communication through social media. Whatever official communication it will be, it will come directly on your emails. So kindly keep an eye for this, and I hope to meet few of you on the physical P departures that will happen by last week of June and first week of July. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks so much, Shishta. Make sure, yeah, if you're an Indian student, to attend the pre-departure sessions, because they can be such a good help and get you kind of prepared for coming. So we might just go to some of the questions that are in the chat. So we'll try to get to as many as we can. So there's a good few questions about kind of the structure of master programs in terms of how are assessments typically conducted? Are there many written exams, or is it primarily coursework or research papers and presentations? So I know every course is slightly different, but maybe Brianna, you could give us an idea of what your course was like and what way you were assessed in that sort of way.
Yeah, so for me, like this would have been nice to know actually when I was in your position last year. But for my course, they put it so that we only had classes on 2 days of the week. So both first semester and second semester, we had classes Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday. 5 classes each semester, and we would be there from about 11 to 5, 11 to 6. So you'd have like a 2-hour lecture in the morning, an hour lunch break, and then either a 2-hour, like 2 lectures in the afternoon, or 1 3-hour lecture. So yeah, so all 5 courses are within 5 days, because they want to make sure you also have time during the week to work on the assessments, group projects, and then do your part-time work. And also they do recognize that obviously getting accommodation in Dublin can be tricky. So even for some people who have to live off campus, or even the Irish students, I've got people in my class who were commuting from Wexford and Waterford. So they were like 2-hour bus rides to campus. So that's kind of how they design that. As for assessments, for me personally, it was a big range of, we would have group essays, so group assessments. We would have individual essays. Those were the 2 big ones. And each semester, only 1 out of my 5 classes had an actual final exam, which is your typical, as at every other university, you get your exam date kind of towards the end of the semester. You write it in the big gymnasium with all the other classes. So kind of the similar as my past universities. But yeah, it's mostly for my program, it was all individual essays and group essays. So you definitely have to get used to, again, working in a group, but even working in a group with different cultures was also kind of a learning curve in the first semester, because we all kind of come from a different educational background. So assessing everyone's skills. But that was how my courses did everything.
And did you have many presentations, Brianna, or was it?
Some of the courses, and if we did have a presentation, they were 10 minutes, and they were all group presentations. So I did have a smaller class. My program was only about 25 people or something. So we would just do a 10-minute group presentation, and you would speak for 2-3 minutes per person. And even at that, I would say only probably 3 or 4 of my classes out of the whole 2 semesters had them. So it wasn't even a lot of presentations for me.
Okay, great. Atara, we might get you to kind of see if your course is slightly different, because I know you're in a different faculty. Brianna's in the business school, and Atara, if you're in the faculty of science and health. So was there kind of any differences in your faculty compared to kind of what Brianna has said?
Well, yeah, it is a bit different. So first of all, my course is like a physics course. I'm doing masters in astrophysics, which is a physics topic. But this course is done by the mathematics department. Like, it is undertaken by the mathematics department. So it is a heavy theoretical course, like theoretical and computational. So anyone coming to this course should be ready to do the hard work needed, because this is just a 1-year course, and you will be taught a lot, ranging from astrophysics, relativity to cosmology, different things, and even computational physics and data analysis and machine learning. So you need to be ready, and you need to work hard a bit. It's not that easy course, I'll not lie. It's not an easy course. You will need to do hard work to excel in this course. And yeah, so about the classes, so if when you come over here, you will make friends and ranging from all other courses, and then you'll find that, oh, everyone gets so much holidays, but you have so many classes. So that will be the case. You will have classes, I think, how many days? 4 days a week, 4 days a week, and in that one day will be a one of those days will be a full day, like from 9 to 6, and other days mostly it will be till 4 or 5. So there will be classes, and you will be given continuous assessments which you will have to work upon every week, and or in the desired timeline. So it will be tough, but the course is really nice, and if you are really coming to study theoretical physics, you will absolutely love the course. And
Okay,
yeah,
great.
that's
I think that gives us a good kind of idea of the variation between every course. So it's hard to kind of say each master's course is done in a specific way because they kind of vary depending on what you're studying, on how many classes you'll have a week, how many exams, continuous assessment. So there's a question, just a brief on exams conducted. So I think Brianna kind of went over the exam sort of process. You'll be in a hall with other students, you'll sit them kind of at the end of the semester. And then for the class timings, as Tara and Brianna have mentioned, they do vary. They'll always be between 9 and 6. They try to give you at least 1 or 2 days off every week, so you're not in every day, and it gives you some time then to kind of study in your own time. So about health services, so we do have a doctor on campus, so you can always go to them if you get sick or injured, or you can also go to your local general practice or GP, as some people might call it. And then we also do have plenty of hospitals if you get really sick, but most of the time the easiest thing is just to go to the GP service in DCU. It's the most affordable and the easiest to get. So also so there's a question, this Niha, this question might be good for you. It's just about are there any clubs or departments that help with kind of corporate networking or placements? So you kind of touched on it in one of your questions about the career service. So maybe if you just want to give a quick rundown of what the career service do and how they can help with network and their placements.
Yes, definitely, Frank. And with respect to that, DCU is very good in terms of they have a page which is DCU career page for sure. So once you are here, just like you'll start to get the notifications about the market wherein whatsoever job is out there. So you will get the notification. So once you are here, just go to the DCU portal and send a set up a notification for yourself. So every time there is a new posting out there on the DCU career page, you'll get the email. So this is very, very important and very helpful as well. So I remember a few of my like peers who are there in data analytics course or the AI course, and they are having just like 2 or 3 years of experience or rather less than that. They find it very useful because mostly these openings are for freshers only. So this is one important thing. And then once you'll be here in the month of September, somewhere around the October flame, DCU generally just so many companies come here at the university itself, wherein you can just talk to the recruiters directly and speak to them about your like what exactly you do and how you want to get into these programs. So for the freshers, they have these fresher programs wherein you just have to enroll, and then there will be one quick test, and once you are there, you can land up with the internship or maybe 1 year job or a 2 year job service as well. So this is very great for people who have less than 3 to 4 years of experience. So yeah, do leverage them. And then, as I already mentioned, that once you are here, along with the social activities you want to do, just go out there and there are so many free events. Rather, I would say most of them are free events on these two very important online platforms, which is Meetup and Eventbrite. Enroll yourself accordingly with respect to whatever course you are doing, or maybe the course which you are not doing but you are passionate about. Enroll yourself, meet these papers, and generally these meetings they happen either in pubs or clubs or even at very historical places. So you'll enjoy the culture as well as the good company. And food and drink services are also very great out there in those meetups. So you guys are not only going to collaborate with them, but also I would say you'll be creating a good bond, and this is a huge face value. So I would say when you are coming to Europe or especially Ireland, networking is very important. Do not forget to network. You don't just mingle with your with your people from your country. Try to mingle with everyone. That way you will explore new culture. You will get to learn. You will be like embracing different cultures out there. So it's definitely it's a thing out here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I think that's a really good overview of kind of the career service at DCU, and the things like career fairs and networking events. They're really important to attend. So I think attend as many as you can, and you'll give yourself then the best opportunity to get career opportunities or working opportunities. So this is a quick question then about when can we expect to get semester-wise lecture schedules along with timings. So in the few weeks before the start of semester, we'd hope that they're published. So again, just keep an eye on your email, and you'll get updates on your email whenever they become available. So there's this question about operating systems. Is there ones that master's students prefer? No, there's not a preference really. I think just go with whatever you prefer, as Satar has replied. Like if you prefer Mac, use your Mac. If you prefer Windows, go Windows. But everything that DCU do will be compatible with both. So don't feel like you have to get one or the other. So in terms of assistance provided by the college after landing in Ireland, so the best thing is to attend orientation. So orientation will be in the couple of weeks before the start of semester on September 9th. So attend as many of them events, and then they'll kind of help you and kind of help you prepare and plan for arrival. We'll also be doing another webinar on the 21st of August, which will be about prepare and plan for your arrival in Dublin. So we'll kind of help you with what the airport would be like how to get from the airport to your accommodation, all these sorts of things, and just kind of little tips for Dublin. So just having a look through your questions. So some of them, you guys have been answering them well in so yeah, if you want to jump in, she got a few questions directly. She might just answer them on screen just so everybody can hear. If you want to jump in,
Yeah, hi.
Shishta.
Okay. Yeah, hi. Thanks, Frank. So the first thing is regarding the visa. So for all the Indian international students, so since you all will be going on a student visa, first will be your course duration, which is 1 year, and after that you will get post-study work visa, which is for 2 years. This is something that comes along with your student visa, but of course you have to go and do the registrations once you are there. Given you don't flunk your exams, 2 years is something which you will get to get yourself studied in Ireland, which is known as post-study work visa, right? Second is that what are the chances of being absorbed in Irish job market being an international student, right? So one thing about Ireland job market is that it doesn't distinguish. It doesn't depend upon your nationality, given you have, a desired education, desired work experience. For example, this particular question is regarding that coming from a law background and then doing a 1 year of MA in data protection. So, MA in data protection and privacy law is the course which is really, I would say, in demand in Ireland job market at the moment, is because Ireland, as we all must know by now, that it's a very IT centric country, right? Majority of the companies are IT driven companies, and they especially look for lawyers who specialize in data protection and privacy law because the companies work with data. I'll be really honest. I cannot guarantee a job sitting where I'm sitting right now. However, as far as the job market is concerned, it is booming at the moment. You name any IT company, you name any MNCs, they have got their headquarters or at least their European branch offices in Dublin or somewhere in Ireland. So I don't know what will be the situation 7-8 years down the line. However, if you're going to Ireland right now, you will get that first movers advantage. And as far as getting observed is in the place, don't worry. Irish people don't discriminate. Everybody will have equal opportunities. Everybody will have equal chances. Do look out for career section. DCU has been ranked #1 for graduate employability. We are known for a graduate employability, and with a success rate of 96%. University do conduct career fairs. They usually happens in the major one. They usually happens in the month of October every year. All the students are more than welcome to go and to go to the career fairs, have a look around, see what the job markets looks like, if there is anything extra that needs to be done. And as mentioned already, previously, that the support is always provided by the university in regards with your CV building, your resume shortlisting, mock interviews. Every assistance is there. However, at the end, getting a job depends on your personal caliber. As direct as it may sound, but university is something which is there for you. There will be career fairs, there will be assistants, right? Your professors are there. However, at the end, it will comes down to an individual. Part-time is something that again it doesn't depend on the course or the university. As per student visa conditions, you can work 20 hours in a week. And I please guys back me up on this. I think the minimum wage in Ireland is currently 12.7, if I'm
Yeah,
not wrong. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and again, I'll be really honest with you. Part-time is usually always on the minimum wage. So 12.7 is something which you will definitely get it, and you can work 20 hours in a week. Again, it doesn't, you don't have to divide those days equally on, on each day. You can work 20 hours in a week, and during the holiday seasons, you can work 40 hours. Sports team is something, yes, we have as I've mentioned, we have a clubs and society. 130 plus clubs and societies are there in the university. Tennis is there, and all those. But to be honest, I'm not very sure, like the name is not on the top of my head right now. But yes, we do have clubs and society. There is a sports complex that is within the campus. We have an Olympic size swimming pool, we have gymnasium, we have a football ground, we have tennis. Everything is within the campus. Given, you go and look out for those options once you're there at the campus. Second is part. Yes, I will see. This is very debatable at times. However, I personally suggest students to, yes, go do yourself a part-time job, because that's how you grow. That's how you get to know the job market. I'm not asking, just be practical about it. Do not expect to have a part-time job as soon as you land in Dublin. Give yourself some time, manage your funds in a way that have a, that you have a pocket to at least manage your, 4 5 weeks, like your initial 4 5 weeks, settled at the university in the city, or you're familiar around. Then you can just, sorry, yeah, then you can look out for the part-time jobs. Getting a part-time job is relatively easier in Dublin at the moment. You are very well connected to the center. To campus, we camp international student. Majority, like to be honest, 90% of your work will be around the Glasnevin campus, which is the main campus. Very well connected from the city center. Like I think 15 to 20 minutes from the airport, and again 10 to the city center. So you can go have a part-time job within the campus, around the campus, or in the city center as well. If you're particularly feeling very energetic someday, you can of course work also. However, yes, a part-time job, but do not rely on it. Do not try to get into part-time as soon as you land. Give yourself some time, understand the university, get yourself settled, and get yourself familiar with the area. Then look out for part-time jobs. And if you can ever get a part-time job with in a fast food chain, because that really teaches you time management.
Yeah.
However, there is no such preferences. There is no such preferences, but if you can, please look out for the part-time job. But do not ever compromise with your studies, guys. Please don't.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
we
think
only,
that is it from my side. Yeah.
yeah, I was just gonna say thanks so much. But yeah, we might just run through some of the last few questions in the chat quickly before we finish up at 11. So there's just a question about taking classes online. So like all classes will be done in person. Very few will be given online. Some teachers will record them and post them after, but even that's very rare now. So you'll have to expect that you should be in attendance for all your classes in person, and that very and a very off chance one might be online, but majority of them will be in person. Yeah. Maybe if Niha, do you want to give just a few? Oh, you've given them in the chat, but there's different types of part-time jobs maybe you've done, or that your friends are doing, but I think you've covered them in the reply. So I think, yeah, retail stores, part like volunteers or working in restaurants, working in bars, working in hospitality are probably the main availability of jobs that there are in Dublin at the moment. So that's probably where most of you will work if you're working part-time.
One thing here, Frank, like for everyone, also I would say that do not hesitate to ask for part-time if you are really in a need. So as I've already mentioned that networking is very important. So I got my part-time in one of the IT startup, which is very much close to my course as well. So I just asked, I met them somewhere in few of the event meetups, and then one day I asked them about if they have any part-time for like, because I don't want to go in the other part-time. So I just wanted to to confine myself to the IT as IT only. So just do not hesitate, ask. If you are in a need, definitely ask, and nobody's ask politely. Nobody's going to say like, they will let you know whether they have the opportunity or not at the moment, and if not, then they'll let you know about other opportunities. So definitely ask.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good tip, is just to ask. I think
Yes.
the worst thing somebody can say is no. So like, there's no harm in just asking and taking your chance and seeing if there's an opportunity. So there's a lot of questions about careers and employability, which we don't want to go too deeply in. So we will be having a webinar specifically for employment as an international student with somebody from our careers team who will be able to give an insight into all these things. So if you have questions about that, make sure to attend that webinar, which will be in August, and you'll get an email soon about registering for it. If you have other questions that we haven't covered, I'll stick our email in the chat, and you can always email this email with any extra questions that you have. I know there's some questions that we didn't get to, but I think we've tried to cover them all, either by one of our panelists going through it on screen, or they've either replied to you in the chat, which is great. So we'll just see if do we have bikes for near, so you can get bikes in Dublin through like shared bike schemes. So we have Bleeper Bike and Mobi, where you just set up on an app, and then you pay for your ride. You just open it with the app and you can cycle, and you pay like a few euro for using it, depending on how long you use it. So if it's only a short trip, it might only be like 50 cent to €1. And then for a longer trip, it might cost you a few euro. Yeah, and then another great thing that Brianna's put in the chat is, if anyone has any other questions, you can always contact the student ambassadors on the UniBuddy platform. They're always available to answer any questions that you guys might have about different parts of the student experience that we didn't cover. For jobs on the campus itself, as Neha was saying, there are some availability, but it is kind of limited. So I'd say most people probably end up working off campus, but there's lots of part-time employment opportunities off campus. You'll see it walking around Dublin. Lots of shops and restaurants will have signs in their windows saying that we're hiring and they're looking for staff. So don't be afraid just to go in and introduce yourself, or then also just bring your CV with you, give them your CV, and then they'll contact you and they might give you an interview, that sort of thing. So I think we'll just wrap it up here. So I just want to say thank you to Neha, Brianna, and Atar for all the great insights, and then also Shishta for all the great information that she had as well. And then thank you to all you guys for coming and all your questions. But yeah, if you have any other questions, as I said in the chat, just make sure to contact the email that I sent in, and that we'll try to come back to you with the best answers that we can.
Thank you so much, everyone, and good luck for your future. And I just seriously hope to see everybody, at the campus soon.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you all in Dublin.
Yeah. And that's our Helix campus, Helix Theatre.
Yeah, so this is on our Glasnevin campus, if anybody is wondering. So you'll see this when you come. This will be one of the big main buildings. It's actually not where the classes are, but you'll see it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Brianna.
See you
And thank
later.
you, Neha, and thank you, Atar. Your answers were all great, and your insights. I'm sure
Thanks.
you've
Bye.
Okay, talk later.
see you later.
Bye.